Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Weekly Home Edition. Well, vaccination efforts continue here in Chesapeake with both local and regional vaccination clinics being open to anyone who wants a vaccine age 16 or older. I recently got to catch up with Dr. Nancy Welsh, the director of the Chesapeake Health Department, and she got to tell me a little bit about how the vaccination process is going.
We are still not at a herd immunity level, so we definitely need it. And the latest studies that have come out is that this is going to sort of be like a flu thing, that we've got to figure out how to address this every year and develop the protection. It's important for people to understand we're not at the end yet. We don't have herd immunity, and there are variants, which is very, very common for viruses. You have more variants with viruses than you do bacteria. The virus is much smarter, they just change. And they're different, although studies have shown that those who are vaccinated, when you compare it with those who are not vaccinated, that those who are not vaccinated have a 3 or 4 times risk of becoming infected with the variants than those who are vaccinated. So it is working. It is working. I can promise by the data it's working. So from my mind, the reason that you get vaccinated is because we want to enjoy each other's company. I'd love to go hug a lot of my friends. But we want to enjoy each other's company. We all want to be back to that. We're social human beings, and we all want to be back to that. I do too. And the best way to do that is to do it safely.
Now, if you're looking for a vaccine, you can search for one near you at vaccinefinder.org. Well, volunteers are a very important part of any organization, and the City of Chesapeake is no different. Every single year, volunteers donate hundreds of thousands of hours towards our community, and that helps save the city millions of dollars. Volunteers were recently recognized in City Hall.
Despite the many challenges and transitions, we can proudly announce again that our volunteers contributed a value at over $2 million. Please, let's give our volunteers a round of applause.
I have a personal great sense of enjoyment and fulfillment in just being in a library setting. So much so that even in my spare time, I wanted to go to libraries and do some extra volunteer work. Unfortunately, I couldn't volunteer at the library I was working at because conflict of interest there. So I went to a number of different libraries to see if I could volunteer there, and at that point I started volunteering for Major Hillard Library.
Well, we started out kind of concentrating our efforts on the South Norfolk area because it was a revitalization area, and we felt we could make an improvement in some parts of that area. And so far, over the last 20 years, we've done here recently. This is our 13th home we are in the process of building right now. We should be completed by the end of May, 1st of June, hopefully. The project we're doing now is on Portlock Road. It's a new home. It's about 1,700 square feet. It's a nice, very nice home. In fact, all our homes have been top of the line.
If you're interested in finding a volunteer opportunity that fits your skills and your schedule, visit cityofchesapeake.net/volunteer. And when it comes to volunteer positions in the city, there is not a single one more comforting, more cuddly, more sweet and adorable than this one. Chesapeake Animal Services is looking for foster families for baby kittens. So we are entering kitten season, and knowing that there's going to be a need for these foster families, Chesapeake Animal Services is reaching out now for people who would be able to bottle feed these little tiny babies. So kittens under 4 weeks old have to be bottle fed about every 3 to 4 hours. So it's a big job, but you get paid back in all of the snuggles from these cute little things. You don't have to have any prior experience, and you'll be provided with all of the training, all the supplies, the medical care. They'll get all of that to you. All you need is a willingness to give your time and some cuddles. So to find a foster application, visit cityofchesapeake.net/animal services or call 382-8080 for more information. And while we're talking about animals, April is Heartworm Disease Awareness Month. So heartworm is a really awful disease for dogs and cats. It's a terrible thing for an animal to go through, and the treatment for it is quite expensive. That's why prevention is really the way to go. So here's Chesapeake Humane Society Executive Director Lacey Shirey with more on this terrible disease.
A lot of people don't realize where heartworms come from. It comes from a mosquito bite, and all it takes is one infected mosquito to pass along microfilaria to your dog. So heartworm preventative on a monthly basis will kill the microfilaria in their larval stage. But if that microfilaria matures into the adult stage, it will no longer work as a preventative. And you then have to do treatment, which is expensive and very intense on a dog.
So how would I know even if my dog had heartworm?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of times you don't know. It's not something that you can physically see. By the time you can see any symptoms of heartworm, it's a severe case. So when they do get severe enough, and it would probably take, I would say, 1 to 2 years of being infected at least.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, then you would have coughing, potentially coughing up blood, shortness of breath, maybe swelling of the chest. So because the heartworms live in the lungs and in the heart. So it's not like a pest in the digestive system where it's easy to get them out. You actually have to kill them and make them pass through the blood system.
The Chesapeake Humane Society cared for 11 animals last year who had heartworm. And again, like I said, the treatment's very expensive. So if you're looking for a way to help out pets in your community, you can learn more at chesapeakehumane.org about possible volunteer or donation opportunities. Well, there's a really, really cool new event coming next month, thanks to a partnership between Chesapeake Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, Keep Suffolk Beautiful, and the nonprofit 757 Creative Reuse Center. It's a Fix-It fair, and we went over to our friends in Parks and Rec to learn more about this cool new event.
So this is an opportunity for folks to register their broken item, whether it be a bicycle or a small appliance, a small piece of furniture, piece of clothing or jewelry that they want to have repaired. And what we'll do is link them up with people who are good at fixing items. We're calling them fixers. So at the event, it will be, safety protocols in place. Folks will drop off their item in hopes to have it repaired. We'll give them a call 30 or 45 minutes later once the item is complete. We are actually awarded some grant funding through the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality to be able to put on something like this. We wanted to do something a little different in the communities here, and we wanted to help the environment a little bit, keep stuff out of the landfill, and encourage people to repair rather than throw things away.
So you can schedule an appointment to get your item fixed at cityofchesapeake.net/fixitfair. But move quickly because appointments are filling up. Now it looks like they still have plenty of room for both clothing and jewelry repairs. So if you've got something laying around the house that you want to get fixed, definitely go sign up for that. You can also call 757-514-7604 for more information. Otherwise, it's cityofchesapeake.net/fixitfair. Well, we want to remind you about a toll increase starting May 1st on the Chesapeake Expressway. Tolls will increase by $1 for regular fares and 25 cents per discount program fare. The toll increase applies to both regular and peak weekend toll rates. This is part of a series of scheduled increases approved by City Council in 2012 in order to meet financial obligations. You can learn more about that at chesapeakeexpressway.com. And of course, the other city-administered toll facility here in Chesapeake is the Dominion Boulevard Veterans Bridge. Now, the Veterans Bridge is much different than the Chesapeake Expressway. They really see a different type of traffic. On the Veterans Bridge, it's commuter. It's your everyday travelers. Chesapeake Expressway, it's much more vacationers, people going to the OBX. So because of that, the toll rate schedule is quite different. So on the Veterans Bridge, because it's so commuter heavy, those toll rates were set at the lowest possible rate for everybody. Here's Earl Sorey, the Director of the Public Works Department, with more information on how they set the Veterans Bridge toll and why it is the way it is.
Well, we provide easy pass relief for those people who live near the Veterans Bridge. So to answer that, I really want to step back a little bit and look at how we developed the Veterans Bridge in Dominion Boulevard. We did that as solely a public project. We do not have private partners. There is no guaranteed rate of return. Our toll rate is based on being able to cover our debt in our operation and maintenance to keep the roadway open. So in doing that, we were able to deliver the project at the lowest possible cost to the citizens and at the lowest toll rate. So if you'll compare the toll rate on the Veterans Bridge to other facilities, it really is the lowest toll rate in the region. But to get the best rate available, get an easy pass. That's better for the customer, that's better for the city because it's more easily collected, it's more efficient, so that's just a win-win.
Learn more about the Dominion Boulevard Veterans Bridge at dominionboulevard.com. Well, CIPSA, the regional waste management and landfill operator, is looking for your feedback on some proposed modifications to its existing schedule, establishing fees and charges for the receipt and disposal of solid waste at its facilities. So they're holding a virtual public meeting on Wednesday, April 28th at 9:30 a.m. We've posted all the information about that meeting at cityofchesapeake.net/publicworks. And of course, you can learn more about CIPSA at cipsa.com. That's SPSA.com. The City of Chesapeake and Chesapeake Public Schools continue to work on long-term planning, the facilities master plan. The facilities master plan is looking at major capital investments such as new construction and renovations of current school facilities. The pandemic has affected this schedule, but staff will be presenting the final project update at a joint meeting of the City Council and School Board on Thursday, April 29th at 5 p.m. This will take place at the school administration building, and seating will be limited, but you can watch it from the comfort of your own home live right here on Chesapeake Television. As a reminder, you can find Chesapeake Television on Cox Channel 48, Verizon Channel 43, or streaming online at cityofchesapeake.net/TV. Just click Watch Now. And for more information on the Facilities Master Plan, visit cityofchesapeake.net/CPS Future. Well, that does it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody have a great week, stay healthy, and I'll see you right back here again next week.
The Chesapeake Fire Department is teaming up with the National Fire Protection Association to promote this year's Fire Prevention Week campaign, Cook Up Fire Safety in the Kitchen. This year's campaign aims to educate everyone on simple but important steps that they can take to protect themselves and those around them. According to the NFPA, cooking is the #1 cause of home fires and home fire injuries in the United States. Almost half of those reported start in the kitchen. 2/3 of cooking fires begin with the ignition of food or other cooking materials. Cooking fires can quickly grow, and I've seen many homes damaged and people injured from fires that were easily preventable. Here are a few tips to keep you safe in the kitchen. Never leave cooking food unattended. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling. If you have to leave, even for a short time, turn off the stove. If you're simmering, baking, roasting, or boiling food, check it regularly. Remain in the home while food is cooking, and use a timer to remind you that you're cooking. You have to be alert when cooking. You won't be alert if you're sleepy, have taken medicine or drugs, or consumed alcohol that makes you drowsy. Always keep an oven mitt and pan lid nearby. If a small grease fire starts, slide the lid over the pan to smother the flame. Turn off the burner and leave the pan covered until it's completely cool. Last of all, have a kid-free zone of at least 3 feet around the stove and areas where hot food or drinks are prepared or carried. It is our hope that you will embrace this tasty advice and serve up fire safety in the kitchen.
Attention Chesapeake residents, the COVID-19 virus is still among us. If it's in the air, it gets in there. Your lungs, ways to beat the pandemic, staying home and avoiding crowds. If out and about, wear a mask to prevent the spread of the virus. Social distancing equals 6 feet apart. Same goes for the workplace. Visit cityofchesapeake.net/COVID-19 or cdc.gov for the facts. The only way to stop this pandemic is for everyone to do their part. Mask up, move forward. This message brought to you by the city that cares.
Mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 58 years old.
Now is the moment.
Contact Bright Focus and learn more.